gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the 25-8 podcast. My dog, Tyler Sudman, what's up?
Yo.
We have a very special guest with us today.
Hell
Can
yeah.
fucking outlift anyone that
Literally.
I'm talking to,
Shit.
following, whatever.
I'm scared to go to the gym.
God,
I don't
damn,
know.
bro. Yeah, so she's one of our neighbors, like crazy enough, but I've seen her at the gym a couple times and just fucking outlifting everyone. Literally.
Crazy.
So on today's podcast, we have Kimmy Johnson.
Kimmy.
Yeah, our girl.
What's up? How are you?
Yeah.
Hello, I'm good. I'm good.
Hell yeah. Welcome to the 25-8. Yeah. Thank you for being on.
yeah.
Just here to get a little story about like where you've been, what you've done, what's going on in your life. I personally like want to know about like how you've got into the powerlifting world and like how you are literally the strongest girl in your weight class in the world. Like,
Yeah, that's crazy.
that's fucking nuts. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even you believe that's crazy, right?
No, it
Yeah,
is. I
yeah,
still
yeah,
don't believe.
yeah.
Like, it's hard to believe myself. Like, that's like a goal that I've had for years and years and years. And so now that I am the world champion, it just feels. Funny.
Yeah, say it proud, baby. Say it proud. You don't gotta whisper about it. Shit.
So how'd
Stick
you
that
get, how'd
chest
you get
out.
into that? How did that even happen? Like, was that like a goal of yours? Like always? Like
No.
growing up,
So
or, like, did it
I
just happen or?
just really liked playing sports growing up. So I did all
Yeah.
sorts of sports. Like I played like football, baseball, hockey, like everything as a child. And then in high school, I did tennis and softball were my main two.
Mm-hmm.
And in the winter, you wouldn't like. I didn't have a sport, but I was like off season for the other one, so I would like be practicing nonstop. And my gym had like this. My high school made a new gym. It was beautiful, and I was like, "Yes, I'm gonna go get a six-pack. I'm gonna look so hot for college." Like, but they wouldn't let you go lift unless you were an athlete in that season. So I didn't have a winter sport, and I was like, "I'm way too short to play basketball." So I went to try to do wrestling, and the wrestling coach was like, "No."
Sorry, you can't. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I didn't like it. And I was like, I don't want to be here. I was like, can I just like lift with you guys and that's it? And he was
Yeah.
like, no. There's a team for you called Powerlifting.
Damn.
And I was like, I can do that.
So they had powerlifting at your school?
Yeah. So it was
Really?
like, it's
Okay.
a club technically,
Yeah,
like
okay.
how like cheerleading, I think is a club.
Like after school program?
It's an
something
after school
like that.
program. Yeah.
okay.
So it's not like technically like a sport. It's a
By
club.
the school or whatever.
But yeah, my high school had a team. I remember when I did it at first, like, because there wasn't even like enough girls, like it wasn't even a team. I was like an independent. It was kind of crazy being
Yeah.
like one of the only girl lifters.
Sure.
But I ended
Damn,
up being.
bro. Imagine like joining a team and like you're the only like
It
athlete.
was. I
You know what I mean?
cried.
Like,
I
you're by
remember
yourself.
crying. I remember
Yeah.
doing my first powerlifting meet, and I had not much practice. I didn't even know what I was doing. I didn't know the rules. I think I got like DQ'd on one of the lifts because I didn't listen for the commands in a bench or something. And I remember I was just like in the corner and I was like, I'm losing. And they're like, no, hon, you're winning.
You're like,
Crazy.
oh
I was
shit.
like, I don't feel like it.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, so I ended up being pretty good and I qualified for state right away. And in high school, state's a big deal.
Yeah, no,
like, and
definitely.
I was
So
like,
at this point, you're like, how old?
17, 18.
17. Okay,
High
so
school,
like
bro.
junior. I know,
Yeah.
but I'm saying junior, senior year.
Senior
okay.
year, yeah, like
Got it.
17, 18. I started, I made it to state and then I won and I made it to nationals. And then pretty much from there,
crazy.
they ask you to join like the USA team, like
Yeah.
the sub junior, you're like signing a
From
thing.
high school?
Yeah, like when you're the best in the
Oh,
nation,
shit,
they're
yeah.
just like, here, sign this paperwork. And I remember
Hey,
being
come
like,
with us.
and I was like, I have to go to college. I
Yeah.
can't do this. So I was really scared at first, and I didn't start with the USA team right away. Like I was like, nah, I'm gonna go focus on college and my
Sure.
life. Like this was fun. Thanks for
But,
having me.
yeah.
But this isn't my sport. I play
Right,
softball.
yeah.
Got it.
And at this time I had gotten so good so fast that my dad was helping me. It turns out he like
Was your dad also a power lifter? Or?
so my dad had been very supportive of all the sports I was doing growing up. And when I started powerlifting, I actually met this guy. He was like some old guy coaching a different team. And he was like, is your dad Jason Johnson? And I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
And he was like, I used to be his coach.
No shit.
So I found out, I did not know this, but I found out my dad used to be a powerlifter at the same high school I went to.
Damn.
I had no idea.
He
was
never
also
told you?
Not really, no. He was also apparently phenomenal. and just didn't say anything.
Yeah.
Comes full circle.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So back in the day, like, he just didn't take the next steps to go to like nationals and like the big meets, I don't think.
Yeah.
He was focused on football at the time. He had a different sport. He was going to college for football. Like, didn't care, kind of like how I was.
Got it.
He was doing more for like strength training and stuff
Correct,
like that.
but he just happened to be good.
Yeah.
So when I started up and I was good and I qualified for state, my dad was like, "Oh, I'm gonna help you." And so he started to like get really invested. And I have 3 little brothers, so they all started to tag along. Like after work, we'd all be working out together.
Yeah.
He started helping coaching all the other high schoolers, and because he was coaching so much, he just started lifting too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Got
so
back
we all
into it.
started about the same time in like 2012.
So you and all your
area.
brothers started lifting together?
They all started too, and they're like at this time they're like middle school, young. Like I think the one was just like
And
my
you're-
youngest.
in high
Fucking
school.
jacked at 12 years old. Hell yeah.
My youngest brother, phenomenal. He's like
That's
22,
crazy.
23. Don't be mad, Noah.
Shout out to Noah. Sorry, buddy.
Don't be mad. He's like 22 and he's like amazing, like an amazing lifter. But he's been lifting the same amount of time I have. So he's
Dang.
technically still a junior because
Yeah.
junior is 23 or under.
That's crazy.
But he's like he's 4th in the world right now out of all like in the open division.
Good for
he
him.
just skipped doing juniors because he was too good, and so he's in the open
Damn.
division with the USA
So
team.
open division is like a higher step as
Open is just like means anybody, any age, weight, like it's everybody, the best of the best. It's like
Got
the
it.
real USA team. But before that, they have like juniors,
Right.
so 23 or under, and then before that, they have sub juniors, and that's 18 or under.
so it's like for baseball like AAA team.
Yeah.
So
It's
like
kinda
it's
like-
just like a JV, like you're practicing
Yeah.
to be good.
Yeah.
So I started on the junior team, and so did he. But there was a few years there where I transitioned, where I won worlds as a junior, and I was like, I did that. So I.
One
Well,
world as a
hey,
junior,
dust
so-
it off
So
real
I was
quick.
like,
Dust
okay,
it off.
I want to go to the big girl league.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I
But what's
also
that mean?
went
Like
early.
winning worlds as a junior. You won world champion. Like you're the
When-
strongest in your division in the world.
in
Is
the
that what that
world
is?
for under 23 and under.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I won that
As
year.
how old?
It was 20, I think 18.
So what lifts are you guys
19?
doing?
It's squat, bench, and deadlift.
Got it.
Are the 3. So that year was actually wild. I think I went in ranked 5th place or 4th, and I ended up taking 2nd place in every event.
That's crazy.
But I was just strong enough consistently
To keep going.
to be number 1 overall.
Yeah,
Like when they
to get
added
your
all
score.
when they added all 3 lifts up, I was
Right.
the strongest.
Damn.
So I
That's crazy.
but because I took 2nd in each lift, I didn't think I won. I had no
Yeah,
idea I was
you're
even in the
like, oh, I
winning.
got
And I was like,
second,
oh, like
yeah.
this is cool. Like I did pretty good, top 3-ish. And then I remember like hyperventilating when they called my name because I just literally was clueless. And at that point, I didn't really understand kilos.
Freaking out.
So I was like, I don't know how much I'm lifting.
Converting
I
the
don't know
Yeah.
weight to
that.
like
yeah, I
like
don't even know
pounds
what's
and stuff, yeah.
happening.
So
No
where
way.
is this? Where's this competition?
That one was in Poland.
Poland.
Yeah,
I was
so
in
you-
Poland that year. I
you
was in a
travel
place called
everywhere.
Sturk. Yeah. So every year the World Championship is moved to a new location. And then every 4 years we have the World Games, which is like hosted by the Olympics. And that's in a new location as well. And then I also do like nationals all over the US.
That's
So you've been in
crazy.
nationals, you've done like that world stuff, and then
I
also
think
in
I'm
the,
like a 14-time national champ or something.
But are you also joining like the Olympic team, or are
so
you in the Olympic
so
team?
it's not an Olympic sport because there's like Olympic lifting,
Right.
and then there's powerlifting.
Got it.
So powerlifting.
What's the difference?
So Olympic lifting is like the clean and press, and snatch the jerk.
The
Yeah, I got
There's
you.
the snatch,
Like
and
the
then
power
the
clean.
and press.
Yeah.
Yeah, those two.
so clean
so
and
it's
press
2
is when you
lifts.
come down and like come back up, and the
And then
snatching is like just
The one
straight
where
up.
they like
Yeah.
wacha,
Yeah.
and their
Okay,
shoulders
yeah.
look wild.
Yeah.
I don't think I could do that. And I could barely
Okay.
like squat like that. But that's Olympic lifting, and that is in the Olympics. And then powerlifting is squat, bench, and deadlift, and they're very controlled. It's actually kind of crazy. Like there's 3 judges on you, and they're telling you commands. So I don't just lift. I have to
Right.
lift on their command. So like for bench, when I lay down, I
up.
take the weight off. So like I'm holding the 350. It's so heavy. I'm like, ugh. And I have to wait for that head judge to be start, and then I go, and I have to wait for him to say press, and then I
Yeah,
press.
it's not like you're at the
And then I
gym trying to
start
like.
rep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
there's
like,
no, like,
it's a
bounce it off.
There's no
controlled
heaving, it's
environment. Like
controlled.
they're telling you
Your
what to
feet
do.
have to be flat on the floor. My butt has to be down. Like there's so many rules, and there's judges like staring super intently at you. Like
Yeah,
yeah.
and
so
that all goes towards your score.
yes, yes, and you get
fucking
3 attempts
insane.
at each lift, and it all happens in 2 hours, which is insane. It's like all mashed in so fast. Like
Wow.
you get like 20 minutes to warm up. We weigh in first. You have to make weight.
Yeah.
And you get 2 hours after weigh-ins to like
Right,
compete. After that, it's like you squat. The second I'm done squatting, and it sucks because right now I'm like one of the best. So I'm at the
It
end of
sucks
squatting.
that you're one of the best.
But it
All
sucks
right,
because
cool.
I'm like the last person
yeah.
off the platform.
I
And
get
then
you.
they start a 20-minute timer.
Right.
And you're warming up for bench, and you only have 20 minutes to be ready. And in those 20 minutes, I have to take all my squat gear off. I have to pee. I always have to pee so bad. My nerves make me like. So I have to like run to the bathroom. They're always like, hurry up. And then I have to like eat, start warming up for bench. 20 minutes is not that much. Like, I can't do anything in 20 minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I agree. Yeah, that's
So
crazy.
it's a good thing you have like coaches there. Like, they're like literally like water, food. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm going to throw up. I can't think.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's
So many
like,
moving
so many
parts.
coaches back there
Yeah.
helping you. It's crazy, but you like need it because I can't even like think that fast. And your adrenaline's so high because you just
Yeah,
PR'd and maxed
exactly.
out, and they're like, okay, but calm down because you got to go again.
Damn, that's crazy. So wait, bring it back a little bit. So you were talking about in high school. First of all, you're from Wisconsin.
I'm from Wisconsin.
Yeah.
So there's not much to do there. It's cold most of the year.
Right.
We drink beer.
And that's what
We
you were
lift
saying
stuff.
when you were doing tennis and softball in the off season. There was nothing really to do, right?
No, there's like a lot of indoor facilities, which is nice, but you're just like always prepping. Like I remember playing tennis and softball in the snow.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like there's just some seasons where it's just like there's not enough time in the school year to like,
Right. So then you got into the wrestling. That wasn't your thing, and then you're like, hey, the powerlifting. I'm actually
I was like, I'm
fucking
pretty
good.
at
Pretty good at this,
Yeah,
yeah.
I never really, my heart wasn't really in it in the beginning.
Okay.
But because I had that when I went to college, it's kind of funny because I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life at all. Like I had no game plan, and it kind of gave me a direction because then when I went to college, I was like, well, I kind of like this. So I went for like I was like physical therapy, nutrition, like that's what I started to go to school for.
Going to school for
Health and
like,
fitness.
Yeah, like
Basically.
but before this, I don't think I would have necessarily chose that. My dad's a chemist by degree, so I also have chemistry background too. So I was like, oh, I'll be a chemist. Like that's what my dad was.
Follow the
That's what
footsteps.
I'll do. Yeah,
Right.
it's easy.
Right. Makes
Like,
sense.
Yeah,
Sure.
adds up. I'm not.
It's
I'm
easy.
that
It's not easy. No,
stupid.
no, it's fine.
You had the
chemist-
you had the blueprint.
Becoming a chemist is
Not
not
easy.
easy.
It just like added up in my head.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll do that. Like I've seen.
It's
him
in my
do it.
lineage.
Yeah, I've seen him do it. Like I'll do it. And then I realized, like when I was like going through the chemistry major, like these are not my people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not hating on them. They're very nice and sweet, but
Sure. Dang,
I was
that's
like, I
crazy.
liked like the nutrition and the exercise science, and I got a job pretty quickly at the gym on campus. So I was like doing like I was teaching all those funny classes. Like I would teach water aerobics.
Okay. Yeah.
Like
yeah.
the old
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
the morning.
Yeah.
I was the group X, like the manager. So I was like hiring on the yoga instructors. I was helping teach like Pilates,
Love it.
Zumba,
All the random shit. Zumba.
turbo kick stuff. Like
Yeah.
I don't even remember. It feels like a lifetime ago. But I was doing all those funny I was teaching those classes and running those.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what got you into like when you went to your first competition and you're like, hey, I'm actually gonna train to like, I actually want to do this.
remember in college, I joined a sorority in college too. I feel like you're just so lost. I was like all over the place, and I was just drinking a lot, and like I don't know, I was like
No.
lost. What weird?
Drinking a lot in a sorority in college. Yeah.
What?
Okay.
But I just remember being so like drained all the time, but like I was everywhere, and I missed the discipline of being like on a sport. So I remember I was still lifting, and my old high school coach was like helping me out with like programs and stuff, and I was just like, I think I'm ready to do something. And he was like, yeah, pull your head out of your ass, you're good, do something with it. So then I signed up that year for a collegiate nationals, but there was no collegiate team in Wisconsin, which it's wild that it's so big in the high school area, but it was not big in college. Which is like, it's kind of
Yeah.
funny that it doesn't like carry
Right.
over. So I went as like an independent again. So I like show up. The collegiates was in Atlanta,
As
Georgia.
an independent, so you have no team behind you.
No team behind
Yeah.
me. It was just me, and I knew one other guy in the entire Wisconsin state that went.
Wow.
And he was my ex.
Shout out to him.
Yeah, straight up. Whoever you are, shout out.
So that was kind of like, oh.
We're going
And
together, babe. Yeah.
And the same guy
so
was
were you guys
coaching
together
us.
when you guys went to do that, or no? Was it?
We were together in when I was transitioning from high school to college. So it just didn't work well when I moved away. And
Sure.
then I was
And
just
then you
doing
come
my
back
own
full
life.
circle. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. You're like,
Yeah,
oh, hey,
so
I
then-
know
What's up,
you.
dude? Yeah.
So I remember I forgot you have to wear a singlet.
Which is what?
Like it looks like a wrestling singlet, and you have
Like
to wear.
it's like a one. It's like
Like a onesie.
Yeah,
Like a onesie, and you have to wear it on the platform so they can like see if your butt raises on the
Right,
bench, and they
gotcha.
can just see you better, so they can see if you're squat. Like
Yeah.
when you're wearing baggy clothes, they can't
Exactly.
tell. So you have to wear it to make it even for everyone. And I forgot my singlet, and I had to borrow his
Oh,
singlet,
shit.
just adding to like the awkwardness.
Hey.
It was like falling off my shoulder. I was just like,
Hey, babe.
Hell yeah.
I know I haven't talked to you in a little bit, and I miss you. And but can I borrow your fucking bathing suit?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty embarrassing. And I remember just being so nervous. And oh my gosh, this is where I have one song I listen to on repeat during my competitions.
Okay.
And it's because I heard it at the time of this meet. And
What's
I
the
was
song?
like, it's so embarrassing. It's a Hall of Fame by The Script. It's so slow.
Hall of Fame by
By The Script.
I don't even know
You
that
don't know
song.
it?
Look it
Hey
up.
Siri, play Hall of Fame by The Script.
It's so slow.
Here's Hall of Fame featuring Mariah
Yeah.
by The Script on Apple Music.
This is my hype up song to this day.
So you're just listening to it on repeat?
Yeah, for whatever reason, I was like, this is it. That
No
day.
way.
Little baby me decided this song. And
Oh,
I
yeah,
remember-
Okay,
it's
now I
kind of
know.
like
Okay.
a slow hype. But
Yeah,
then I
yeah,
remember
yeah.
I was so nervous. Just because I haven't competed so long, and these girls were so good and professional, and I was literally here in a borrowed singlet, like lost. And they were just all like game face, and I'm just so smiley and happy. I was like, I don't think I belong here actually.
Yeah.
And my coach like put me into the corner, and I literally like faced the wall, and I listened to the song on repeat, and he would just come get me to do my lifts and put me back, and he told me exactly what to do, and I was like,
It worked out.
I ended up being the strongest lifter at the whole meet,
Hell
pound
yeah.
for pound.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Shout
It
out
was
to that.
so good. It was
Yeah.
so amazing. I went from nobody knew who I was, and everyone was like, "Who is she?" and why.
Damn.
That meet. So that was really cool. So that was the first one where like I was so nervous the whole way through, and then it ended up just like that day like sticks in every time to this day when I max out. I picture that same exact wall my coach like
Yes.
pushed me to. I know exactly what the chandeliers of that weird banquet room looked like.
No
Like
way.
it's so stuck in my memory.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. It's like such a like
Yeah.
core memory. So that's what like kind of I don't know, but that day is when it like clicked. Like
And you're like, hey, this is what's like.
this
I enjoy
is
it,
my
and this is what
why
I'm gonna
right
fucking
now. I
do.
don't really know, but this is what's gonna drive
Right.
me. Yeah.
Love
and
that.
then right from there, I got invited to the USA team, but because it's collegiate, I had to wait for the official nationals to finish and to claim my spot, and I did.
Got
and
it.
then I got to go to the junior worlds, and then that was just my new normal.
Damn.
It's
Yeah.
just training after training into like new competitions and on to the next like bigger levels and stuff like that. So going to juniors, you did that, and then what's after juniors?
Juniors is just called open.
Okay.
So like that's it's any age you can be
Right.
in that.
That's
But
what you said.
technically after 23 you have to stop juniors. So you're either shoved to open or you're just
So you can be
Got it.
15-year-old training with 23-year-olds
correct.
or competing against. My bad. Yeah.
Correct. So I'm competing against like the lady that beat me not this last year but the year before. She was amazing, but she was like 38 or something because women don't peak until older.
Yeah.
So I have potential to keep going
Keep
until I'm
going.
like 40.
Damn.
At 40 is when they start the masters division.
Damn.
And that's
Which
what
is
my
you're
dad.
on
That's
to-
what my dad does right now. So he's the masters, but he's technically a alternate for the USA team right now for the Open.
What's that mean?
So like he's like a backup. Like if one of us has to drop out,
He'll
he
sub in.
can sub in and take our place. So he's like the backup for the Open, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And he's like 51 or something, and
That's
he's still
crazy.
he's
And
still
the crazy,
PRing.
and the crazy thing is like
Also, sorry, Dad, if you're not 51.
Yeah.
Mrs.
Whatever.
I know their ages. Yeah, she messed up on her brother's age already. It's okay. Yeah. No, but you got your dad into powerlifting.
Well, technically, he
Back
had
into it.
started back in the
Right.
day
Okay,
when
okay,
he was
yeah,
like
yeah.
in high school.
But it kind of
But I made him come back out of that shell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then my little brothers were good. There's 3 of them. The oldest of my 3 little brothers. He also did sub juniors. He's been second in the world before. I don't think he's ever won world championship. But he's an insane deadlifter. He deadlifts like 5 times his body weight.
Jesus.
He's smaller than me. He's like 114
5
pounds.
times your body weight, bro.
God damn.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's over
he's-
500 pounds.
He's amazing, but now he kind of transitioned into like a grown-up job and doesn't really lift
Yeah.
anymore.
Got it.
So how's that lifestyle like now? For you, you're over here training against like the best of the best in the world. You're obviously like also a nutritionist and like taking care of like what you put into your body? Like, how'd you also like get into learning about like nutrition, like what works best for you?
Yeah.
You know?
So honestly, I don't like food. It's weird.
You don't
I'm
like
not
food?
a foodie.
What?
I'm not a
So-
foodie.
I love food.
I know. I feel like it's a weird thing to say, but like
You don't like food?
No, like growing up, like I remember I would not eat anything, and I had this one rule that if I took one bite of my meal, I was allowed to have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. But I was so picky that I would literally only put peanut butter on it. I'd have peanut butter and bread.
Hell yeah, PB and J's are fire.
No, PB and bread.
bread.
Yeah, no J.
Yeah. Sometimes I would, my mom would call it white peanut butter, and sometimes I would put butter and
Butter
peanut
and
butter.
peanut. Oh my god.
No
That's
way.
crazy.
But I would we wouldn't I did not like eating food growing up. And even to this day, I'm really picky. So it's been pretty easy for
So
me
being
to.
picky makes it easier for you.
Kinda,
because, like,
yeah, because
right?
I like almost eat just because I'm supposed to. Like
Yeah.
in the morning, I'm like, okay, I should have my
It's fuel.
protein. Yeah, lunch,
Yeah.
I'm like, here's this chicken. But it doesn't really bother me because I don't
You don't crave like
other
crazy
things.
good stuff.
I also am gluten free, so I stay away from gluten.
So no
when I'm especially
pizzas or
prep.
anything like that.
No pizzas, but I
Yeah.
don't even crave pizza. Like I don't crave pizza. I don't crave.
I'm craving a pizza right now.
Shit.
I
know,
don't
I'm
crave
fucking hungry.
bread, pasta. It's just not something I want. I'm a sweet tooth, if anything, like ice cream, cookies,
Yeah.
stuff like that. But nutrition, like it was just always super interesting, like what you put into your body, like how it makes you feel. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And it really
was
does, right?
Cool to learn
Yeah.
the science behind it when I was in school, and then to really use it in life. And yeah, when I got rid of gluten in my diet, my energy like skyrocketed. It's
Really?
crazy. Yeah, my joints, I felt younger. Like
It's
It slows you down a
crazy.
little bit, huh?
what?
It slows you down a little bit.
I
right?
feel like
Yeah.
it did. I
Yeah.
feel like gluten made me groggy, but I also learned that I have a sensitivity to it, like through like the blood test at the doctor. But
Sure.
so not everyone is as sensitive, but I do think gluten's pretty hard for
Has
the
an
body
effect.
to
Yeah.
digest. So
So what are some other things like going through that process in the nutrition world? Hey, I'm going to take this to have a little bit more energy to max out this, that. Like, do you, leading up to, you have a competition, you said off camera, like 6 weeks, right?
yes, in 6 weeks I'll be competing in the World Championships again.
And where is it again?
Lithuania. I know.
I'll see you there, bro.
Shit.
Shit.
Come cheer me on.
That would be
Right?
So cool,
That'd be
don't you,
sick.
right?
That'd be so fun.
But,
Yeah, I
uh,
gotta go to Lithuania. I'll see you guys.
Yeah. So what is
I'll
that?
be like, I have to bring my media team.
Yeah, let's do it. What does that
We'll
look
bring
like?
we'll bring this whole setup. Yeah.
Like leading up to it.
So leading up to it, I've honestly honestly COVID helped me with this a lot. I
Okay.
used to be so strict in regimen, and I've learned like life is life. Like you should still but my whole world used to revolve around powerlifting, and when I lost that during COVID, I realized like it's kind of scary.
So what'd you do during COVID when powerlifting?
I
kinda-
actually still lifted. My gym
Okay.
stayed open and everything.
So that took a halt as well during.
It took
the
a
whole
halt for
pandemic,
competitions,
right?
and
Yeah.
I just didn't know what the future. Nobody knew what the future
Right,
would be.
yeah,
So I
yeah.
kept lifting as if it were to keep going on.
I felt like it was like The Walking Dead for a little bit. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like
I
the
had
freeways
just-
were empty.
I
Like,
had just moved to California. So while everyone was in a standstill, I was starting a brand new life.
oh my
Like
god.
it
And-
was like so for me, I went from a slow Midwest town to California, which was slow because of COVID, but still faster than my Midwest town. Do you get what I'm
That's
saying? So
crazy.
I was doing
Yeah.
hikes, I was exploring the town. Like,
Right.
no one was out and about, but I was. I was doing everything.
You're like,
so
"Fuck
I
it."
feel like I
That's
never stood still. Starbucks stayed open, and I work at Starbucks, and my gym stayed open. So my normal day to day kind of stayed about the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when I did realize there were no competitions, and I was like, then I got a little nervous. I was like, what do I train for? What's my why?
Yeah, exactly.
What'd you find your why? Or what was your why?
So I actually found religion. So I
good. Good for
started.
you. Yeah.
So I started going to church, and then
Today's Sunday, and we
Yeah.
asked her to
I know,
come.
before.
We asked her to come around 10. She's like, sorry, guys, I got to go to church. So I was like, yeah, I respect that 100%. That's
yeah.
amazing.
So
Yeah.
around that time, I found religion, and I started going to church regularly. And then I said I believe, and I was baptized like a year and a half ago now.
Good
So
for you.
here,
Here in California.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, so that was kind of fun. So that was what I found. That's my why now. But it's also just to live life to like the fullest, like all corners, all aspects. So I don't like set myself to like one thing. Like I'm not just a power lifter anymore. I'm Kimmy. Do you know what I'm saying? I used to be like, I'm a power lifter.
Yeah.
But now I'm not.
No, it's
Sure.
a little bigger purpose, right?
Correct.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm me. And I'm not going to put myself into a box of what that is. I
Right.
could be anything I want to be.
Sure.
Still to this day.
Yeah.
Love it.
So
Which is powerlifting, nutrition,
Nutrition.
coach, also other endeavors, maybe. You know?
Yeah, I do quite a bit. I like do coaching online. I do nutrition. I work at Starbucks. They sponsor me as an elite athlete, which is super cool. So they like
That's
give me a
rad.
lot of time off, and they help fund my trips to overseas and stuff.
Yeah, I've
And
never heard of someone being sponsored
Dude, no.
by Starbucks.
I remember
That's
I got this
crazy.
mean DM one day, and they're like, just because you drink coffee doesn't mean you're sponsored by Starbucks.
Damn.
And I was like, but
Fuck that person,
But
whoever you were. Fuck
I
you.
am.
I
Yeah.
am. Yeah, so
No way.
I am actually sponsored by them. They're really nice. They're really cool, and it's cool because I actually link up with other Olympians and stuff, and we do like conference calls.
Sure.
And I get to meet up with other Starbucks elite athletes all over the world, which
Crazy.
is like a cool,
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
like
Yeah.
it's a fun
Like a little
gig.
community.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's like a separate community within that one. So I work at Starbucks, and I like seeing and getting out of my house and stuff, and then I do a few I would say influencery things.
I mean, I saw you recently also in Long Beach when they had the Young LA stuff as well,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So I actually got invited as a +1 to the Young LA.
You
So I
were there,
wasn't
though, yeah.
cool enough to be there.
But
with
you were
them.
doing the hanging competition
with
as
the
well,
flex
right?
granny.
Yeah.
She's my new favorite human in the world, and I have realized how weak
Who is
I
she?
am. I forget her Instagram. It's like Flexing Granny.
But she's an older.
She's an older lady.
Yeah.
She's so sweet, and her son comes and travels with her and does all her media and stuff. She's really big on Instagram, and
Love that.
she was so sweet
Yeah.
and so
Yeah.
spunky and fun, and she hung around with us, and she was literally beating everyone at this thing at these pull-ups and hanging raises
Yeah.
That's
competitions.
insane.
So do you also go to these events as well and just kind of?
Yeah, so I'll work with a few different companies, and I'll go to the events, which is really fun for networking here in California. That's
Yeah.
the best part about living in California is it's so easy to beat bop around
Everyone's
Yeah.
here. Yeah.
and just go to something. So I do that, and then I have my OnlyFans as well.
Sheesh. Shout out OnlyFans.
Shout out
What's
OnlyFans.
up?
Damn. hell
Throw
yeah.
the tag down there. Subscribe. You know what it is.
subscribe.
Bro, I could see a lot of guys wanting to see behind the scenes of someone as strong as her too. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Hell
I've
yeah.
done
Yeah.
a lot of live Q&As on there before, which I remember being so nervous. I was like, they're gonna want me to do the wildest stuff.
Yeah.
But my fans on OnlyFans are so cool. They're so cool. I'll go on there and they will ask me real questions.
Yeah.
I like that they treat me like a real human because sometimes
Exactly.
it gets
Not like an
weird.
object.
Yes,
Right.
yes. So honestly, my longtime followers on there, subscribers or whatever, they're really cool.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm one of the only the coolest OnlyFans crew.
I love
Ever.
it. So
Honestly.
besides Q&A though on the OnlyFans subject, what are you doing on the OnlyFans?
I'll post hot, sexy pictures, videos,
Like lingerie, bikini.
lingerie, nude sometimes.
Bro, these guys are loving it.
Run that up. Run that up. We need the numbers
don't
up.
tell my father.
Shout out to Kim. I mean, yeah.
Just kidding, he knows. Oh my gosh. I competed last year, 2 years ago, in the
Your
world.
dad must be. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
No,
off. But
it's
your
okay.
dad must be super protective though.
He
oh my
is,
god, I'm
and
gonna
he's
fucking kill
terrifying.
someone.
He's big. My dad is
Yeah.
huge. He's 6 feet, just a giant powerlifter. But he doesn't.
Oh,
look
you like my daughter, huh? Come
Yeah,
on.
Yeah,
he's
exactly.
scary. My dad is a scary human. I would be scared of him. He just gives me a look, and I'm like,
Yeah, exactly.
sorry. But he actually, I told him right away. I was too scared to not tell him. He's big on Instagram too. He loves to post. And he's always interacting.
So he would have seen.
So
or-
I actually hid him from my Instagram
So
when
he
I
couldn't
launched
see?
it the first day.
Yeah.
And the same day, I got a care package from Caffeine and Kilos, which my dad loves that company.
Okay.
And I did an unboxing. Right, I advertised OnlyFans.
Sure.
I did my unboxing, and then my mom, I didn't block her on my Instagram. Was like, "Hey, you see that she got
He's
a
like,
Caffeine
"What
and
the
Kilos?"
fuck? Yeah.
And he's like, "My Instagram's broken." So he calls me to tell me his Instagram's
I
not
can't see your
working.
page, babe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I was
No
just I
fucking
have
way.
to tell him. I was like, I'm so embarrassed. So I got really nervous, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. And I was like, Dad, I made it OnlyFans. He hung up on me.
Oh my god.
Take us through that though, because I know there's a lot of girls out there, and guys potentially, but obviously more so girls, and obviously having a father. What did that look like? How did that conversation go? Take us through that.
It honestly, I was explaining to him I'm not doing anything bad. I know it gets the stigma for sex porn, that
Right.
kind of vibe. And I was like, that's not who I am, Dad. You know who I am. And I was like, I actually showed him. I had a few posts on there, and I showed it to him. This is what we're
Yeah.
dealing with.
You're like, I'm posting what I would post on Instagram for money.
Literally
Yeah, just
what
making
I
some
said.
money. Just making
Literally
some
what I
money.
said.
Maybe a little bit promiscuous here and
Yeah,
there, but
so
shit.
and honestly, to this day, anytime I post something, I'm in my head, I think what would my dad say if he got this? Like if someone sent this to him, I'd be like, I'd be really freaking embarrassed, but he would not hate me. So I'm like, post. At least my dad loves
And then you
me.
check the bank account, you're like, shit, that shit was worth it. Hell yeah.
We're making money,
I
pops.
love it.
You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I know. My brother the other day too was like, you should put up a warning on Instagram because I'll put like advertisements where it's like a promiscuous photo onto my Instagram. And he was like, you need to put a warning up that like, hey, John Squad family, don't look at the next post.
Don't look. Yeah.
And then I posted because my brother's like, I love to watch your stuff, and then all of a sudden I see your ass,
shit.
and I'm like, yeah.
There's my sister.
Next. Click out,
But
exit,
honestly,
exit.
I feel like they all expect it from me. But the funniest part is they made like these. My dad he makes T-shirts all the time for fun. He made me a team shirt for when I went to the World Games.
Really?
That
What'd it say?
says only Kimmy fans.
Hell
that
yeah.
has like the OnlyFans logo.
I
My
love
dad
it.
made it. And my brothers, my grandparents.
Promotion,
wore it?
baby.
Yes!
Little marketing.
All of them are wearing my
Boom.
shirt with my.
With your QR code, huh?
I know.
Subscribe.
That's
yeah.
legit.
Hell yeah. I mean, being a real champ,
honestly,
man. Fuck,
I was
yeah.
so scared to tell my family, but because not necessarily that they support it, but they support me,
Right.
it makes it so much easier.
Exactly.
It is hard to like have a parent be like disappointed in you.
Yes.
I mean,
Absolutely.
yeah, man. It's hard to like do anything and like your parent not like be agreeing with what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like it kind of like puts a damper on it. So if they can like be cool with whatever you're doing, doesn't matter what it is, it does give you a little more pep in your step.
I
You
have
know what I
been
mean? Yeah.
so lucky that my parents are literally
Yeah.
the most supportive. Like they're the best parents I think I ever could have asked for. Like it's crazy. They
Yeah.
were young when they had me, so they were figuring it out while I'm figuring it out. Like,
Right.
And I love that. And they've been very honest and open about it with me, and I think that's why I am the way I am.
Love that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
But so going back to the powerlifting, so you said a little bit about it, like when you were coming up, especially in Wisconsin, it was like basically you and another dude, your ex. But tell us about being, especially, you know, you started this journey like what, 11, 12 years ago, you said,
Yeah.
essentially. So what did that look like being a female in more of, I guess you could say, maybe not nowadays, but especially 10 plus years ago in a male dominated sport? What did that look like coming up in that?
It was honestly really scary. I remember, like, I was very confident and comfortable with myself, and I was tiny. And I did have, like, this want to be bigger, and I feel like that's so unnatural for, like, a girl to
Yeah.
want that. And I remember hearing a lot of my family members being like, oh, you're going to get huge and bulky, and, like...
That's a big stigma,
you're
huh?
gonna- yeah, like, I get that all the time, and they're like, you're so cute. Like, why are you going to ruin that?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I'm making myself better. I'm bettering myself. But a lot of people said that, a lot of older people. And then I remember, too, the worst, this drove me nuts. They wouldn't, because I was the only girl and there was no team for me,
Mm-hmm.
they wouldn't let me put my gym bag in the varsity locker room. And I had this huge gym bag, and I didn't even want a cool varsity. I wanted a place to put my gym bag.
Yeah, you're
I
like,
was
where the hell am I
carry
gonna put it?
day. But I kept making a sign and putting my own sign on a locker and claiming it. And
No
they kept
way.
ripping it down and threatening to take my lock off because it wasn't. So I remember that was a fight, and I had to go to like the athletic director to like get myself a spot because they were like, what you're doing is not
Okay,
a
well,
sport.
I'm an individual still competing in this event.
Yeah,
like,
so I remember having a few little like hiccups like that when I was younger, and like definitely judged me. I remember like the sorority definitely, like, I got a lot of judgment for like days I would be wanting to train and not go out and party, or I would have to travel on the weekends to go meet my coach.
So how was that? Like, cause like
It was
obviously,
hard.
like,
I definitely
the
got like, what do you
mentality's,
call it? Like
yeah.
alienated. Like,
Okay, they make you seem like okay.
it
she
made
doesn't
me feel like
belong a
I was
little
doing
bit?
something
Yeah.
wrong per se, because I
Yeah.
wasn't going with the norm. But I'm really happy that I had parents that like kind of were confident enough to be like, no, what you're doing is right.
No, because working out and lifting takes like a different type of lifestyle than like the normal college kid, right?
Well,
The
especially
normal
being
college-
young,
yeah, bro. Like, bro, you don't really drink, you don't really like eat junk food. You're not like out there like staying up late.
You're not doing normal things that kids in
Exactly.
college do because you're
Correct.
getting ready to compete
Yeah.
in these.
It is hard. And
Events.
honestly, like I feel like I do a very good job where I have the nice balance where I still do party and I still drink and I still do that, but I make sure I like put it in my off season and I do it wisely.
Yeah,
For the most
you're
part.
disciplined enough.
Yes.
It sounds
And
like.
when I get rid of it, I can easily get rid of it, which
Yeah,
is nice.
it's like a hard stop. It's not like, oh,
It is.
I'm
And
craving
it's like,
a glass
and
of
in
wine.
my opinion, it's not really like I don't feel like I'm losing anything in my life because I'm just prepping for like the more exciting thing in my life.
Yeah.
It's like, it's never
The
really
better
like,
thing, right?
Yeah.
You're not losing out on anything at the end of the day, right?
So it doesn't really ever feel like a loss.
Like
and
a
it's
FOMO.
actually, honestly, like, the hardest part is when you're going out. So I'll still go out with my friends. And they're just like, just one drink. And like, but honestly, it's kind of nice to have like oh no, I have a big competition coming up. Like it's a nice like out.
Excuse,
But that's
right?
hard.
Yeah.
I feel bad for people that like don't drink all the time. Like that's a hard life to like continue. Like it's so encouraged.
Yeah, I get. Dude,
It
I
is.
wish I had some excuse like that sometimes.
That's
you
what
know
I'm saying.
I mean?
Like,
dude,
it's so hard to
sorry,
say
bro.
no
I gotta
sometimes.
wake up for like a competition. Like, sorry, bro. I got jujitsu or wrestling or Muay Thai,
Just
whatever
make
in the
one.
morning. Like, I'm
Make
probably
a
I'm gonna
wild-
start saying
make
that.
a
Yeah.
wild
Dude, you know
one.
what? I got
Make
some
some shit
fucking
up.
extreme martial sport in the morning. I'm
I don't
training against
Be like,
Bruce
I got
Lee's
some
son.
parkour.
Yeah.
I got a parkour tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I got parkour in the morning. I gotta fucking
That's
jump
funny.
off a 10-story building. I'm
I
sorry,
feel like
bro,
every
yeah.
day you should just come up with a really wild. Like I gotta go like race giraffes tomorrow.
But I feel like also
Race
drinking and like stuff like that has also become like a thing that's not so like socially like you know like I don't know, in society nowadays, like the younger culture, I feel like drinking has not been so much like as like a big thing. I don't know how to say
I
it. Like,
do feel
like a
like, I get
social
what you're
thing?
like a
saying.
social thing. They're like it's becoming reversed a little bit. It's becoming
is
cool
kind of-
not to drink. It's
Yeah.
becoming cool to take care of your body.
Which
It's
is
becoming
good. I really
to,
like that that's
right?
happening.
Yeah, I don't know how to like really explain that, but you know what I'm talking about,
Yeah,
right?
and
yeah.
I do. It's cool to see.
Yeah,
that
it
people
really
care
is
about
cool
that.
to fucking see for sure. You know, so I feel like people might understand you now even more now because like it's more of like where society's kind of going towards as well. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's cool. Yeah.
It was cool.
So take us through piggybacking off of that being a female in this whole, community of the weightlifting, and now it's more
now
of
it's
a
way more popular. Though.
yeah. So like, where did you see, I guess, the tipping point or like the evolution of it building up to like now? I mean, there's females literally everywhere that are powerlifting, and literally
so
like
cool to
you
see.
yourself could outlift us two. Like, so how, like, where was the tipping point in your career where you saw it like, hey, now it's actually more accepted, people are more on board with it, there's more females now like striving to do what you were doing? Take us through that.
So I remember when after I graduated high school and like started getting back into lifting, I came home and I helped coach the high school team with like my family and stuff. And when I had left, I was like one of the only girls. And when I came back to the team, there was like 60 girls on the team.
Damn.
It was
So how long
so-
was that though?
That was like probably like 2 or 3 years.
Okay.
Like it was insane. Like it just went from like, but it's also became more socially acceptable in that point. Like I feel
Right.
like that's when, honestly, when like social media started to like pop up, like Instagram had just started maybe around that time.
Sure.
So like you can see what other people are doing more easily.
Yes.
Right, yeah.
And now you feel more empowered to
Correct.
do
You
these
see
certain
one
things.
other girl that's like speaking
Right.
her voice, and
Exactly.
then like I think honestly, like as much as a lot of people knock social media, it's like a lot of why I do what I do. I've seen other girls do it. It's encouraged me. I feel like I've been the encouragement for a lot of other females, which is really cool to hear. I've heard a lot of cool stories
Yeah.
where people reach out and be like, "Oh, my daughter like loves you," and like that's why she started lifting, and it's just like.
That adds to your why, right?
Yes, it's so cool. I like literally, I love nothing more than to coach a young girl to like, or like I remember when I was working at like just like a 24-hour kind of gym for a little bit as a personal trainer, and when I could get a girl that was like just an average little girl, and she was like, "Oh, I'm trying to lose like 5 pounds, like a little bit, like I just want to be skinny," and when I could like transform her mind to be like, "No, I want to like fill up space, take up a room, like love myself." I like got
Walk in there with your
so
chest out a little bit,
happy. Yeah, that was like when the girl was like, "I actually want to try to lift heavy." I was like,
Hell yeah.
Yeah, this is my
Come
shit.
here, baby. Let's go.
I was like, "You're one of us now."
Take her under your wing.
Yes,
That's
it
awesome.
was like the best. So like when it's coaching, I feel like it's so much more than just giving a workout plan. It's like it's a whole mental game.
It is.
Sure.
Yeah, no, for sure.
What about, do you have like a point where, going back to what you just said on kind of mentoring, I guess is the easiest term to use, of like these girls that were coming in, was there any sort of like there was one particular gal that you were like, I'm going to teach you, we're going to do this. And it's just like self-fulfilling, like you were just kind of saying.
That's a good question. I feel like there's so
Or
many,
multiple.
but I can't think of any like off the top of my head. There's like so many in college that I feel like it's a very common thing in college. It's funny because so this isn't lifting per se, but it's nutrition. But one of my best friends to this day, I started as her nutrition coach. And I'm
No
not
way.
her nutrition coach anymore because it was just like a conflict of
Yeah.
interest. Because I can't be like, here's your meal plan, and I'll be like, hey, you want to go get drunk?
Yeah, exactly.
But
Hey, you can only eat this, but are you down for 7 p.m.? We're going to.
So it got a little too tricky when
Sure.
we came too close. So we had to separate ties. But hearing her talk about her experience of when I coached her when she didn't really know me that well was super cool to hear because she never really talked about it with me.
Right.
But I was one of the first people to ever help her lose weight and to not be like scared of dieting and nutrition. Because I go in every single time like it's not a diet. We're not dieting. We're not here to lose weight. We're just
Here
feeling
to
our body better.
maintain
so
our
it's
body
cool to
and-
hear
yeah.
that like the way that I presented the information
Help someone else.
helps
Yeah.
someone so much more. Like to this day, like she still implements it to like how she functions today. Just
crazy.
like little cues and stuff.
I love that. So now on the other end, who was like a mentor besides your father and like the whole family affair type of thing? But what person, whether male or female, kind of was that mentor to you to help you kind of catapult to where you are now?
It's funny because I feel like I'm literally the perfect mix of my parents. Like
Okay.
I always, like growing up, I was always daddy's girl. Like I wanted to be just like my dad. Like he's a chemist. He's good at art. He's strong. Like I want
Yeah.
to do all the things he does. I want to be just like him. But then it's funny because he's like a very old school coach. Like
Hard Knocks.
yes, like this is how it'll
6
be.
year program.
My Way or the
Right.
Highway.
Yes,
Yeah.
and it's just very hard-headed. So it's kind of cool to see that I have the same drive and attitude and wants that he has, but I present it like how my mother is. Like
Got
my
it.
A
mom
little
is
softer?
so sweet.
Yeah.
My mom is like the perfect mom. She works with like autistic kids right now. Like she's like literally like an angel.
Yeah.
So it's cool to see that I have like
Both
Both,
attributes.
best of both worlds. Yeah.
yeah, but growing up, the one coach that I had in high school that kind of stuck with me through collegians, I still, every time I have big meets coming up, he still texts me a long message.
No way.
Like motivation, like he's like the old school motivation. Like
Yeah.
those videos where like the guy's like yelling in the camera, like I don't
Exactly.
even know what they're called.
Yeah,
But you know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
talking about?
yeah.
You watch like a 5-minute video.
Exactly.
He used to like send me those.
It
Ah,
just
you
gets
get
you
fired up,
hyped. Yeah.
Yeah, and his name's Joe Miller. I love you, Joe.
Shout out Joe Miller.
Yeah.
He was my coach back then, and he's I think he's a principal at a high school right now. Back
Nice.
home, he's got a cute little family and stuff. But it's just so cool. I know he has touched so many other kids throughout his like high school like career in his high school the same way he's touched me.
Right.
And I'm just like one out of like who
A
knows
lot.
how many. And I think
Yeah.
about him all the time. When I have a tough lift, I think about things that like he would like yell in my ear before I would lift and stuff. He's just like the one person in my life that I just like when I have a tough time, even in real life, like I'm having a meltdown in my living room, and like
Yeah.
he'll come to mind.
And be
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so cool. He's a cool dude.
What-
Love that.
He's the most selfless human I've ever met.
That's good. Now, what's the biggest thing that comes up to you, like as a female powerlifter, like that comes up to like other people, like, well, trying to get into your sport? Like, what's the biggest thing you feel like comes up that kind of prohibits people to kind of get into your field? And like, what would you say to them to get into it and like just not listen to that?
Like what they hear from others. you
Yeah.
mean?
Especially like females, you know what
Well,
I mean?
like, when you
'cause,
hear-
like you said, like you're gonna get big and bulky.
Yeah, when
you're
you
gonna
hear
get,
someone
know,
like, "Oh,
yeah.
don't lift heavy weights, you're gonna get big and bulky," like I have been trying to get big and bulky for 12 years, and it's not working. It is so hard. Like I put in so much effort to like get anywhere near that. Like you don't just get big and bulky overnight. You have to like
Work for it, yeah.
really work for it, and it's really hard to do naturally. So, don't be afraid of being big and bulky, and like. If you're afraid of change, like the change happens so slowly in like lifting world that it's not something you'll notice overnight anyway.
Yeah.
And my biggest advice to anyone is like when you're like lifting heavy, it's like the confidence. Like I'm lifting to like take up space and it's empowering. I'm not doing it to look a certain way.
Right.
So I feel like if you're trying to find your something, your field, your corner, find something that you really like. Like it might not be powerlifting, it could be Pilates. But if you get like really hyped up to go do Pilates, then like go do it. Water aerobics, like
Do it.
yeah.
Right?
Water
Pickleball,
aerobics.
pickleball is really
Pickleball's
big right
huge now.
It's so
It's been
fun. I
popping,
play
yeah.
on Monday nights actually.
Nice.
Do you really? Yeah.
I do.
that's
I'm
cool.
actually getting pretty good. I've been practicing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
so if
yeah.
anyone wants to challenge me, I'm really-
Go.
Well, shit, you have a tennis background, so it's kind of,
Bro,
you know,
It is.
goes
She's
hand
a
in hand.
fucking world champion, bro. You
Yeah.
think she's not doesn't have a competitive background?
I hate
Literally.
losing.
Yeah, no.
I hate losing.
I bet.
I'm so competitive.
Yeah.
I'm like all or nothing. Or if like it's something like bowling, I hate bowling
I
because
love
I'm not
bowling.
good at it.
Oh.
So I'm just like I can't.
Shit, we have it downstairs.
We
We'll
have-
go play
we
you
have-
right now.
Yeah, no. After
1v1,
this,
1v1 me, bro.
Yeah.
let's go. We're gonna
But you had, so what he just said, world champ. So take us through some of your, you know, your wins, your
Okay.
all that.
So it's all just powerlifting mostly, I think. Yeah. So I just like I won a lot of nationals. I think there's like 13 or 14 nationals, like between college, high school, open. So I won a ton of nationals. I have like tons of American and state records.
Like what?
Like probably 20 or 30.
Okay,
for,
like what?
All 3 lifts
of just different lifting.
of different
Okay.
lifts. So like each
Yeah.
time, like I'll lift like the strongest in the state or like the strongest in the nation. Yeah, I've never held a world record yet, so that's my new goal.
What are you trying to get in?
So my oh my gosh, so my current max
Say it. Let's speak it into existence.
so my
baby.
current max is for like any lift. So squat I do 485 pounds
Jesus.
for 1 rep in the gym. I've benched 350 pounds,
so
351
that's like
technically.
that's 3 plates and like a
And
10
some
or something,
change,
right?
yeah.
Damn,
It's in
bro.
kilos, so that's why it's
Holy
wonky.
fuck, bro.
And then my deadlift is 450.
God damn.
So the world records are roughly close to there. So I want to squat 500. The world record's
God.
like 495. My goal by the end of this year is to squat 500 at least once somewhere.
Fuck, dude, hell yeah.
500. I want to bench that 351 in competition, but in kilos, 100. I don't know what 170 kilos is. It's 3 reds. That'd be really cool to bench.
Got
I
it.
think that's closer to like 400 pounds though. So.
Damn.
And then deadlift, my goal is, I think the world record is 465.
And you're
I
at
beat
what?
that. 450. So I'm like 15 pounds away. So my
That's
goal
incredible.
is to break a world record this year at
Yeah.
the Lithuania meet.
And then right now you're
Right now I'm the current world champion. From last year I competed in Denmark and I took first overall. And then so I'm the reigning world champion. So so now I'm like the one to beat. So,
hell yeah, let's go, baby.
Yeah, and last year I competed for the U.S. Virgin Islands, was like my national team.
Yeah.
So I won for them, and then this year I'm competing for Powerlifting America, the USA team, and I want to now have both.
Yeah.
Which would be so cool.
You're the one to
Which
beat.
you're gonna make it happen though.
Yes.
Right? Hell yeah. Fuck
Yes,
yeah.
I am.
I love it, man.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
so excited for it.
That's crazy, bro.
I wanted to ask too, because now, like, coming up, you might have looked up to like these certain people. Hey, how do I get there? Whatever. But now, obviously, as you just said, you're the world champ. You hold this record. Yada yada yada. Do you feel like it's harder to, when you're at the top, to stay at the top, or do you feel like it's harder on the come up to get to that point?
I feel like it's so I get what you're saying, but I feel like it's actually like I don't think it's any harder if you have the right mindset.
Which
Because
is
last year when I won, I was like, oh my gosh, like I just beat everything. I just checklisted every goal I've ever had
yeah.
in the lifting world. And that was like kind of a crazy feeling because I was like, wait, that means like I need more goals. So
I gotta do something else, right?
yeah. So I was like, oh,
I'm out of
no.
shit to beat.
So
God
for like
damn,
a split
imagine.
second afterwards, I like it felt unreal. Like everyone's congratulating you. Like I am the world champion, which felt wild because for so long I've been trying to be the world champion.
What's next?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's like now that's it. So then I made new goals. Like I want the world records. I want to hold the world record or be the world champion for the USA and stuff like that. But what has changed for me the most is like I have learned to fall in love with the process more than just the end result.
Right.
Because before I was always striving towards these goals and that was like my why, but it's not my why anymore. My why is like I love that I go to the gym every day. I love the friends that I make at the gym. I love teaching other people that it's cool to be strong. I enjoy getting up to get in my ice bath in the morning. Like, I'm so grateful for all those little things.
Or doing it at midnight when you're drunk. Yeah. Either one.
No.
Don't tell my father.
No, but still, the process of like what you're doing also like
Every little thing.
It's as important, if not more important
more.
than like the end result. You know what I
I've
mean?
learned to love
details.
that so much more, and that's my exciting part. Like, yes, this meet is more exciting, or is like an exciting thing coming up, but like it'll happen.
Right.
Like,
It's to get there is what
like
is
I've been learning to
motivating.
like live more in the moment, and it's helped me tenfold. I used to be so nervous and worked up for lifts, and I would cry if I didn't get something, and now it's just like I fail lifts left and right, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, it's part of the
Dang it.
It's a part of the
Okay.
process.
I'll get it tomorrow.
You wake up-
And I was like, now I have a new goal to hit.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the reason I asked that is because a lot of like in the sports world, especially, is like, and I see it all the time on TV, and it like literally pisses me off. But like these teams, let's say they're up by like 30, right? In whatever sport, basketball, football, you name it.
Mm-hmm.
They switch their mindset of like they don't want to lose the lead. Instead of just
they're,
keep
like,
playing
playing, like, the
to beat the
defense.
shit out of their competition, right? So that's why I asked that is like, do you feel that there's a little bit of shifting in your mindset of like, hey, even though I'm at the top, I'm not gonna train and do all these things to stop the competition to getting to me. I'm gonna catapult myself to now a higher standard, so they
keep pushing
they
the
always have
records.
to catch me type of thing.
Correct.
That's what I was
do
trying to
what
get
you're
at.
saying there,
So it's
but
you versus you, basically.
But in the powerlifting world, it's weird because like as much as we do have teams, like there's a USA team, and we're there to support each other, which is so cool. It's an individual sport.
Sure, yeah.
So like every time I go lift, like I don't really pay attention to my competition. That's my coach's jobs, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like I could if I wanted to, but there's no reason
You're
for me to
focused on
stress
you.
about what you're doing.
Right.
Because even like just because you squatted maybe 500 pounds today, doesn't mean like has nothing to do with me.
Right.
Like me lifting my 500 pounds, that's me, myself, and I, like my journey.
Sure.
Like whatever you do over there, like if you happen to be stronger than me, I'm gonna give you a high five and be like,
Fuck yeah,
wow,
that's
you're
crazy. Good for
strong.
you.
Like
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Teach me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
What are you doing different? Like this is so cool. But like what you're lifting isn't going to affect my lifting. So I've always been super focused on my own lifts and my own goals. Like every time I start a prep, I have numbers like the 500, like the things that I want to hit. So like it doesn't really matter about the outside noise or like that I am that world champion already. I almost kind of forget
Love
it
it.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Like if someone's like, oh, like they'll be talking and they're like, oh, where do you place? And I'm like, oh, I'm the world champion. And they're like,
I am her.
I am
I
like,
am
you're
her.
like,
Hey,
what?
yo,
And they're
shit.
like, wait,
you don't know?
what?
Hey, Google me, bitch.
Oh,
What's
sorry.
up?
Oh, we just met. Hi, nice to meet you, world champ.
Yeah, like that's a weird thing to do.
Right. No,
My
I get what you're
friends are
saying.
I have really cool friends though because I do that all the time. My girlfriend's favorite thing to do for like drinks at a bar is to be like, guess how much she benches.
More than you, motherfucker.
It's like this massive guy. You're like, bro.
I think
Get the
when
fuck
I
outta
first
here.
made my OnlyFans, there's like a bio on the top, and
Yeah.
I didn't know what to put in it. So I'm pretty sure to this day my bio just says, "I'm stronger than you."
Hell yeah.
Fucked all these guys up.
So you said you've competed in the Olympics before, right?
So
Or-
it's the World Games,
Okay.
which is hosted by the Olympic Committee.
Okay.
So it's like as high as we can get. It happens every 4 years, just like the Olympics, but it's like the other years.
Mm-hmm.
So it's got like sports that aren't voted cool enough to be in,
Yeah.
In the Olympics.
So I
Gotcha.
think
So
like
there isn't powerlifting
softball's
in the-
there, powerlifting's in there. I know the sumo wrestler guys
Are in there
No
too?
way.
are in the World Games. Yeah,
That's funny.
they were competing next to us. They were like warming up outside. It was cute.
So powerlifting isn't in the Olympics?
no.
Really? Oh,
Nope.
shit.
So
I
it's
thought I
not
thought
in the
I should-
Olympics at all.
It should be by now.
I know.
right?
I wish.
Yeah.
Every so often they like re-vote to see if it'll make it. I always was like, I really hope it makes it.
It'll
to
get
the-
in there.
by
Especially
my
now.
lifetime in the sport.
Yeah.
I'm so
No,
big.
it will.
Because I competed. So I wanted to do the World Games like when was it? Like probably like 6 years ago, and I just missed the cut because the World Games you're not competing against your weight class. You're competing against multiple weight classes. So
Damn.
it's just pound for pound who's the strongest. So I tried to qualify, and even if you're like the strongest in the world in your weight class, you might not be strong enough to even get there
Right.
still.
Yeah.
There's like different standards.
Yeah.
So I didn't qualify that first year, and I was like, oh, well, I want a podium at a world game.
Right.
So I went to Alabama for the World Games in 2020. Oh, I actually can't remember.
Three?
Last year? last year.
2022.
23?
I don't remember.
2022.
Doesn't matter.
Anyway.
You were there.
I
Yeah.
was there. I did it. My brother actually qualified too. So my brother got to do it, which was
Nice.
really cool. My
Yeah.
youngest. So I took 4th in that, which I was really sad. I dropped my last deadlift out of my hands. That deadlift, if I would have held on to it, would have put me in 3rd place, which one of my goals was to podium in the World Games. So I only took 4th, which is not podium.
Got
It's
it.
not top
Yeah.
30.
Bro, it's crazy because like I watch her Instagram stories and she's like deadlifting these fucking things. I'm like, bro, when I try to do that, I'm wearing fucking straps. I'm like fucking
Yeah.
chalk.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
In
Shit,
I'm
my
lifting
in
back will
world,
break.
you
Bro,
can't
no
have
straps,
any
like-
aids on your
Yeah.
hand. Only chalk. And if you like put a band-aid on, like it can only be like 1 rotation. There's so many rules. Like you can't have any
Bro,
band-aids.
imagine lifting
Yeah.
that shit with no
No,
straps.
that's
So I
crazy.
do the over-under grip, like the switch grip.
Yeah.
Like this, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And then when I like lift up all the time, my over grip, as I'm like pulling it up the end, will
It'll
like,
slip.
oh yeah, my hand's so small that like I can't hold the bar.
Yeah.
Like my fingers don't touch. So I'm just like, I literally hold it in my fingertips.
Yeah.
And I just like,
But that's hard though, because it
Pray
can
for the
fuck up
best.
your fucking like.
yeah, I
your,
actually, my wrists always
right?
hurts too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, or like the, what do you call these guys, these tendons here.
Yeah, the tendons, because you
Yeah,
can
for
pull
me,
those from
'cause
your,
you're,
your
like,
fingers,
really,
right?
like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
I've definitely like
crazy.
dislocated this finger before too, because it'll like pull really hard, and I'm like, nah, I'm not letting
Yeah.
go. And I've definitely like dislocated right here. Yeah. Yeah, I was like, my finger's gonna fall off before I let go.
Dude.
My brother does the hook grip.
What's
where
that?
he
Yours,
like,
under,
he
it-
does
over,
double
right? Yeah,
over, and he
yeah.
like puts the thumb on the bar and then grabs his thumb. So literally, the only way you could drop this out of your hand
break your finger or
is if
something.
you like
Yeah.
broke that thumb. Yeah.
Oof.
And it's like his nail. He's like missing half his nail in his thumb. Yeah. But he's deadlifting, I don't know, like 700, 800 pounds. Like,
Jesus
it's a lot.
Christ.
Like, yeah. Like it's
That's
insane.
insane. No way.
Hell
So what do you want to do next in terms of, we'll kind of switch it a little bit in, because you do social media influencing and all of that. So talk a little bit about that journey, and then also like what you see yourself doing and incorporating that into your career as like a power lifter, and how you see all that coming about.
Okay, like with my social media stuff that I do. So I think it's really cool because I try to like, well, I do. Like I put my authentic self out into the Instagram. So my
You
Instagram's,
really do. Yeah. I
It's
love
not
that.
like
Yeah.
cute. It's not like super lifty. It's literally
It's
me.
the truth, yeah.
It's me. It's all over
Sneaker
the place.
game,
It's
you
chaotic.
know, talking about
It's
new
me.
hairdos and, you know, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Dude,
my
crazy,
really
yeah,
shitty
yeah.
makeup routines.
No.
It's me dyeing my hair purple
Hell
last
yeah.
second. It's literally my chaotic life.
My favorite thing is the kicks, your kick game.
Oh, yes,
You know what I
my
mean? Yeah.
shoe
She's out there,
collection.
bro, posting. She's
Love it.
lifting, squatting, and like fucking $600-$700 sneakers. I'm like, oh my god, she's fucking creasing these Jordans. You know?
I love Jordans. I have such a collection, so I do like to show it off and be like, guys, look at how fun this is. And like I live alone in my apartment right now, so it's like really, I don't know. I feel like when I talk into social media, it's like having a friend.
Yeah. No, straight
I
up,
feel
it
like
is.
that sounds so embarrassing. But like I'm like talking to my dog, and then like so if I'm ever talking to my phone, like when I ice bath for 4 minutes. And I was doing it in the beginning just fine because it's
Yeah.
new, exciting. And then
Yeah.
I'm kind of getting not bored of it. Like I could do breath work and stuff. But as of late, I've been talking into my camera.
While you're in the
Instead-
cold plunge.
Yes, and I
Yeah.
love it. Yeah, so I'm going to start posting that on social media. So I just try
You
to
should.
portray my real life, like explain lifting, like, and I hope like throughout all that, like I just encourage other girls to like try what they want to like try. Like I also like every off season I'll try like new sports. Like I'll try like snowboarding, rock wall climbing, stuff like that. So I like post all that up there to encourage like people to like get out of their comfort zone and try that.
Beat the stigma of like what a female should be doing a little bit
Yes,
as well.
and I
you know
like
what mean?
I like the
yeah.
concept of like not being put in that box.
Exactly,
Like I am a
yeah.
power lifter, but I'm also a human.
Yeah.
I'm not just like Kimmy Johnson OnlyFans or Kimmy Johnson Powerlifter. I'm all of it, and I could be anything else. And I want other girls, other people to see that that's them too.
Kimmy
Yeah.
Johnson snowboarding next, bro. Backflips
Yeah,
off
watch
the
me
big
doing
rails.
all the
God
trick
damn.
shots.
Bro, can you imagine seeing this girl just do a backflip
Love it.
in Mammoth next year?
Hell yeah.
That'd be crazy. Hell yeah.
That would be cool.
No, that would be cool. And
Doing
I'm
a
sure
double
you'll do it.
backflip is
Yeah.
one of my special talents, actually.
Like
it's
off the ground?
Yeah, off
Or-
the ground. Yeah,
You could do a double backflip?
yeah,
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
yeah. I can.
Damn.
I've been practicing.
We're seeing that shit
All
off
right, well,
camera
I'll show you
after,
guys.
but
I'll
Yeah.
show you guys.
Maybe not right now,
damn.
guys, but damn,
No
man.
way.
Well, thank you for coming on.
Oh, heck
it's been
yeah.
It's been a
crazy
pleasure.
episode, yeah.
Yes.
Thank you
for
so
being
much.
I
on,
know.
ladies and
Thank you
gentlemen.
for having me.
Yeah.
This is
Kimmy
so
Johnson.
fun.
So what's in the future for you right now? You
So,
got coming up the games in
6 weeks.
right?
I have the
Yeah.
World Championships in Lithuania. I will be going. My youngest brother will be competing as well. So that'll be really exciting. My dad might be going, but probably not at this point. It's kind of too late in the game. After that, the World Games. So that's the one that happens every 4 years. That next one is in China in 2025. So I'm trying to get back on that team.
Damn.
To podium, hopefully this time.
Yeah, fuck
For
yeah.
real to
No,
podium.
fuck yeah, you will.
So I got my icon pass for snowboarding.
There you go.
Hell yeah,
After-
going every
after
weekend,
Worlds,
baby. Let's
yes,
go.
after
Yes,
Worlds, I'm
yes.
ready.
I need to get mine. I need to get my icon pass. Yeah.
Other than that, I just keep chugging along. Honestly, I'm seeing where
Good.
life takes me.
No,
Love
that's
it.
Dope.
Yeah, I'm putting my
I
head
love that.
down for the next 6 weeks until my competition.
Yes.
Coaching other girls maybe after that as well. kind
Yes,
of,
yes,
yeah?
yes, yes. So I've been coaching throughout all of this. I haven't really advertised that I'm picking up new clients or anything, but
Yeah.
usually post off seasons, I have more freedom. So I do hope to pick up a few more clients.
Where do you learn all your like lifts and stuff from? Like your kind of like techniques and all that
So
stuff. Like, do you have a
I-
trainer as well, or
I
what do you
actually
use?
have multiple coaches,
Yeah?
but actually my dad's my main coach,
Yeah,
which is
okay.
really cool. But I have multiple coaches. Like when you're on the USA team, you have to like send out your videos to like all the coaches, and they all just shit on your lift nicely.
Yeah, that bench look a little. Yeah.
Ask me my body weight every once in a while, stuff like that. So I have like a ton of coaches that I report to, so I
Yeah.
get multiple feedback, which is really nice. But when I just had so much life experience, and I've done so many other worlds like of lifting, like Pilates, yoga, stuff like that. So it's just a lot of life experience. But I also went to school for it. I have a degree in exercise science and nutrition.
Love
Cool.
it.
Hell yeah. Well, damn. Kimmy Johnson,
Ladies and
God
gentlemen.
damn.
Yeah.
So if you ever need a coach out there, the females watching and that
Yeah.
good stuff, hit up our
Powerlifting,
girl here. You
lifestyle.
know, don't be scared to fucking get in there and be stronger than your man. You know,
Shit, I know.
It's
You
way
know?
more fun, ladies. I love being stronger than the guys.
Bro, she's fucking stronger than me. God damn, I'm embarrassed right now. I gotta get my ass
Is
in the
that why
gym.
you guys
Yeah.
both showed up in all black?
Yeah,
Literally,
exactly.
yeah.
You know, we gotta hide it
Make
a
myself
little bit.
look strong.
Little Popeye.
No,
But no, thank you so
ladies
much.
and gents,
You're
yeah,
so
Yeah.
fun.
Kimmy Johnson, you know, the 25-8 podcast guys. If you need her, you can, you know, catch her on Instagram. Kimmy Johnson on Instagram.
Kimmy Johnson
right?
22.
Yeah. Okay,
Kimmy Johnson 22. What's the
on
OnlyFans?
IG.
Kimmy Johnson 113.
My guys,
Johnson
Kimmy Johnson
113, baby.
113. Anyway, yeah, love you guys. You know, 25-8 guys. Thank you,
25-8,
Kimmy.
baby.
We're out.
Sheesh.
Thank you. Hell yeah.